Lord Marsh is a keen... Let's see how hard to crack this safe is.
Doctor, it appears that you...
Indeed. No, please, Doctor, I insist that you stay. I shall need your assistance.
Will you break anything else?
I'll try my best.
November 7th. This means that the meeting is planned for today.
I'd suggest that your current weakness is perhaps more than a simple case of influenza, Lord Marsh.
Where might your companion be, Dr. Watson?
Oh, he's busy poking his nose into other people's business, I'm sure.
My lord, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I must remind you about your meeting. Is it already time? My apologies, Dr. Watson, but we are expected elsewhere. Might we offer you a lift?
You are going out? I'm not sure that's wise in your condition.
I value your opinion, but misery never rests, and I am needed.
Well, do please take good care of yourself, Lord Marsh. I'll send you my diagnosis, Dr. Fisher.
Thank you, Dr. Watson. Farewell.
Holmes, come here. This is serious. Holmes, come here. This is serious.
Watson, what are you doing at my table?
I just need to check one thing about Lord Marsh. My intuition tells me that Lord Marsh is hiding something about his disease. His cough, in addition to his fever and his usage of strong painkillers, leads me to believe that he is seriously ill. Let's study it more closely. Sputum with tiny drops of blood. I could take a sample and examine it under the microscope. Let us apply chemicals to color the sample. I need a pipette. Let us apply chemicals to color the sample. Let us apply chemicals to color the sample. This chemical should be applied third. Now, let's examine the colored sample under the microscope. Holmes, this is no longer a laughing matter. It is just as I feared. Lord Marsh is suffering from tuberculosis.
You don't say.
Yes, I do say. And Holmes, he will die if he is not transferred to a sanatorium as soon as possible.
And yet both Lord Marsh and Dr. Fisher are doing their best to hide this fact. How interesting.
But why?
Why indeed, Watson?
Oh, dear God. You don't think that Lord Marsh contracted tuberculosis while aiding the poor? How terrible. I have a commitment that I can't possibly cancel. Holmes, during my absence, please be extremely careful. This disease is highly contagious. And remember that we have women at home.
Thank you, Miss Alice. Until later.
I'll see you soon, Caitlin.
Where have you been?
Our neighbour lent me a book. She is so kind. I think she likes you.
I doubt that.
How is your investigation going?
It's going. Dracula?
Yes, it's forbidden reading at my boarding school. Did you know?
Well, well.
It is thrilling. I can't wait to tell all my friends about this.
A map of London and its surroundings. Could be useful. That's not... Here it is. Cranston's Oak is in Epping Forest. That's the place indicated on George Hurst's map. Let's try to find the place from the hand-drawn map. Here it is. Drat. I'll need to hurry if I want to find out what's going on at the forest.
Father, that boy Wiggins, does he come here very often?
He helps occasionally in some of my cases. Why do you ask?
I'd like to talk to him.
Talk to him?
Father, back at school there are only girls to talk to, and they are so boring. I'm sure Wiggins has lots of exciting stories to tell about his life in London. It would be so romantic.
Caitlin, you know that Wiggins hasn't had the most fortunate life.
That only makes him more interesting.
Oh, Kate.
I'll leave you alone now.
Let's see how long you can stay alive! You're dead. Let's see how long you can stay alive! Where have you gone? Let's see how long you can stay alive! Here you are! is he?
He was poor. This man was killed recently. The body is still warm.
Find him, boys! Find him! I'll help you. Where is he? I saw something. Where is he? I'll help you. You won't get far. You're dead. Hungry today. Here you are. Where have you gone? I like to call this the Swamp of Despair! I'm following your tracks! You won't get far!
He was killed by a shot to the forehead. My God, it's Lord Harrington's body. My health is deteriorating. I need to dress my wound. The Quartermain Club. This must be Lord Marsh's cabin. This will help to dress my wound. Someone's coming, I better hide.
Breathe, Lord Marsh. It's almost over.
Who are you?
George Hurst from the 1st Lovat Scouts, here to deliver justice.
An old soldier. How ironic. Did we refuse you on our special education program?
It's true, I was refused. An old wounded soldier is useless to you, but he can still be dangerous.
We hunted a lot in these woods, but I didn't expect to become the prey. I have lived a grand life without any limits set by others. I will die a happy man, so you won't see me begging, you festering wretch.
Prepare to meet your maker.
I should decide what to do before leaving the cupboard.
George, lower your rifle, please, for Tom's sake.
Holmes! My, an almost worthy opponent.
Tom? My Tom? If you've endangered my lad in any way, you will pay dearly.
I assure you that Tom is safe in London with a well-trusted friend. And now it's time to end this.
By all means.
George Hurst, you have killed enough people. Your insanity ends today. Drop your gun. You may have wounded me, but I won't miss you.
If I ever had you in my aim, I wouldn't have merely wounded you.
Oh, the best detective in England.
Detective, take a look here.
This is how you became sick, Lord Marsh. The beheading of your victims who were suffering from tuberculosis was what infected you. Poetic justice. I was wrong.
The best detective in England.
Enough! You'll die here, Lord Marsh, and you'll die slowly.
I understand your view, Mr. Hurst. I really do, but I couldn't allow you to continue.
Yes! Well done, Watson!
Holmes, you're playing bowls? Indoors?
Not just any old bowls, Watson. Lawn bowling.
Seriously? With your injury? Oh, no. Mrs. Hudson is going to murder you.
Well, that's it for now. Time to go. Would you care to join me?
You're incorrigible. And where are we going, Holmes?
I'm participating in the final stage of the annual tournament held by the London Archaeological Institute's bowling club. It's an official invitation. I'll just need to dress suitably and then we can leave. Mr. Holmes, you played very well yesterday. I'm obliged to you, Sir Charles. I play many outdoor sports. That's the key to my success. My friend Dr. Watson has decided to join me.
Really? Mr. Holmes, would you like to see the first prize? A rare stone Mayan quiche calendar.
Mayan quiche?
Indeed. Their legendary king, Tekun Uman, has his statue just behind you. Although this one is a cast metal copy.
That? Oh.
Well, since only members may enter the clubhouse, we have exhibited the calendar outside. Please, explore.
I'd like to win the Mayan calendar. It's a beautiful work of art.
Mr. Holmes, I'm glad you are my opponent for the final. People call me Arthur the Invincible. Ah, Mr. Holmes, are you ready to begin the final game?
Yes. Let's start the final.
Congratulations on your game, Mr. Holmes. Exceptional. The awards ceremony will be tomorrow morning. See you then to receive your prize of the calendar. I trust you will be there as well, Dr. Watson?
Unfortunately, I'll be unable to attend tomorrow. Duty calls.
Ah, what a pity.
Let's go home.
This'll keep Watson happy.
Let's go home.
Oh, Daddy!
Hello, Mr. Bouvier.
Hello, Mr. Holmes.
Well, Caitlin?
Your costume!
Oh, don't you like it?
Oh, I do!
Caitlin, come on. Show some respect for your father.
You know, Father, Miss Alice was telling me all about her travels. She has already toured the world with her own father.
Your daughter is exquisite.
And just to think that she was aboard the Orient Express when it was attacked. What a dream.
Indeed.
She's so creative and imaginative. And that reminds me, would you allow Caitlin to visit me so that she can practice playing the piano?
It's very kind of you, but I decided that Caitlin should stop playing the piano.
Oh, Father, why did you say that?
Caitlin, we are neighbours. We'll meet again. Until then, I shall leave you with this book.
Thank you, Miss Alice.
That's not the one I need. 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 That's not the one I... That's not... That's not... That's not... That's not the one I need. That's not the one I need. That's not the one. That's not the one I need. Here it is.
The statue did it. It killed Zacharias.
Calm yourself now, Sir Charles. You've had a shock. Let the police do their duty.
What can a mere inspector like you do about it? You don't know anything.
A mere inspector? Pshaw. And now here comes Mr. Holmes.
Lestrade, are you here to receive a prize as well?
Very amusing, Holmes. You can go home. The ceremony's been cancelled. We've got a murder scene here.
Really? And to think I only came here for my prize.
I know, Holmes. I saw your name on the list of finalists. So go away.
You're not going to congratulate me?
What? Do you really think I'm that naive? You turning up out of the blue and then bam, a murder? There's a surprise.
Oh, you're making a spectacle of yourself, Lestrade. Let's just pretend that I'm a simple consultant, your humble assistant.
Oh, all right then. A club member, Mr. Zacharias Greystoke, was killed at around 4 in the morning. There. Now, don't mess around.
I promise that I won't, Inspector. What do you make of the facts?
It's quite clear. The murderer intended to steal the Mayan calendar. He was caught by Zacharias Greystoke. He then took up the first weapon that came to hand, the statue's spear, and killed Greystoke. Then he fled, just as Sir Charles was coming out of the club. Unfortunately, we've been unable to find any trail beyond the club's wall. It's as if the murderer vanished into thin air. Well, take a look for yourself.
piece of the statue's mounting rod. Pieces from the pedestal. A piece of the statue's mounting rod. Traces of metal on stone. The iron mounting rod is broken. The surface is damaged. Traces of metal on stone. It looks like the statue broke away from its pedestal. This spear came from the statue on the pedestal. The case is scratched and dented. Tissot watch, Swiss, 1855. This watch is valuable and old. It's been through a great deal. Zacharias' folder with some document. These drawings represent the Mayan symbols. Zacharias' folder with some documents. Dry leaves. They make a noise. Zacharias probably walked across them. Money was left inside the wallet. All valuables were left on the victim. The strike was powerful and well aimed. If I believed Lestrade, this Mayan calendar was the reason behind the murder.
At your service, Mr. Holmes. At your service, Mr. Holmes.
What a spectacular season. The great tournament of the London Archaeological Institute's bowling club. Sir Charles, are you able to tell me in detail what happened?
Ah, Mr. Holmes. Well, to prepare for the awards ceremony, I decided to spend the night here at the club. I was sitting alone at my desk when I suddenly heard a loud, metallic sound and a terrible shout. I hurried outside and well, I found the body of Zacharias. And I swear it, I saw the statue of Tekun Uman running away.
Did you know the victim?
Yes, of course. It was Zacharias Greystoke. He is... was a club member and an excellent bowler.
But why was he here so early in the morning?
Oh, I don't know.
You saw the statue running?
It was dark, but yes, I'm sure of it. It was running, and it was making the most horrible metal sound as it did so. And can't you see? The pedestal is now empty.
Sir Charles, where did the Mayan calendar come from?
It was donated anonymously. We received it shortly before the tournament, with a letter asking that it be awarded to the winner.
Is the calendar valuable?
Not really. It has historical value, of course, but to be truthful with you, Mr. Holmes, it isn't worth very much.
May I go in the clubhouse?
It's members only. I cannot authorize anyone unless that person has a written warrant from the police.
And what about the statue?
No idea yet. I imagine the thief must have taken it somehow.
Right, so they were thieves, and they were very well equipped?
Yes, must have been. Then there's also Sir Charles's version, but...
Please, go on.
He said this morning that he was alone at his desk when he heard a shout. He went outside and saw Greystoke lying on the ground, and... believe it or not, he said that there was no one else on the green that night but the statue itself running away.
You mean that the statue might have killed the victim? Interesting.
Absurd, more like. Besides, it was dark and foggy.
So, somewhat like your version, then. Did you search the clubhouse?
What for? The murder took place outside.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
A murder at my club. What a disaster for our reputation.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
A broken branch. Somebody jumped into the tree and then over the wall. No, it wasn't like that. No, it wasn't like that.
It looks as if Zacharias was killed the moment he approached the calendar, and killed by the spear from Tukunuman's statue that jumped from its stand and escaped over the wall.
A murder at my club. What a disaster for our reputation.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Well, Holmes, your conclusions as my consultant?
My conclusions are approximate to Sir Charles's testimony.
Oh dear, you think the statue did it?
Everything points to the fact that the spear was thrown from the pedestal, and Mr. Greystoke appeared not to notice the killer.
Indeed. The journalists will be ecstatic about your version.
I would like to examine the victim and take a look at his belongings.
Oh, you've amused me at least, Mr. Holmes. Very well. I'll grant you authorisation for the examination at Scotland Yard, but nothing more.
Thank you for coming so quickly, Watson. Lestrade already has the
They will
victim's body
find
in the
their
autopsy room.
I'm always ready to help anytime, Holmes.
Good day to you, Mr. Holmes.
It was a powerful throw. The spear pierced right through the body.
The coroner mentions in his report some specific cardiac and digestive system damage. Traces of alcohol were found in the stomach. Apparently Zacharias had been drinking before his death. Red eye. It looks like a serious infection.
This is where the spear entered the body. The murderer aimed for the heart. The weapon must have been thrown by a strong and skilled person. These scars are old.
I'm always ready to help anytime, Holmes.
There's no need to disturb Lestrade for the time being. This spear came from the statue on the pedestal. An ordinary pencil. Tissot watch, Swiss, 1855. Money was left inside the wallet. Oh, Zacharias had already translated some symbols. The Mayan calendar. Here's a chance to... Interesting. What are the symbols here? I'll need to redraw them. I could use this dictionary to translate the calendar's glyphs. They are the symbols that were drawn on the Mayan calendar. The papers from Zacharias' folder. They can help us to translate the Mayan message.
No, I think I've missed something here. I don't think so. I should pay more attention to details. I don't... I don't think so. I should pay more attention to details. No, I think I've missed something here. I don't think... No, I think I've missed something here. I don't think so. I should pay more attention to details. No, I think I've missed something here. No, I think I've missed something here. No, I think I've missed something here. No, I think I've missed something. I don't think so. I should pay more attention to details. No, I think I've missed something here. They are the symbols that were drawn on the Mayan calendar. The papers from Zacharias' folder. They can help us to translate the Mayan message. Cursed will be anyone who disturbs the sacred temple. They will meet their death by the risen statue. Only the chosen will have mercy. It's not only a calendar, it's a curse. Zacharias Greystoke, a member of the club, was killed as the curse decreed.
It's possible that the link between Zacharias and the curse is at the archaeological club. I'll need a search warrant.
Aren't you supposed to be investigating those cases of yours instead of bothering me?
Good day to you too, Inspector. I have a small favor to ask of you, a search warrant to investigate the murder at the club.
No, no, and no.
Since I'm without the warrant, I should find something else to do. By the way, do you know if Sir Robin is currently in town?
I have no idea. And why on earth should you even think that I might know that?
Well, I believe I may have solved a case about, let's say, a salacious inspector.
No, it's not what you think. Nothing dishonourable happened. Go on then. Take your warrant.
So he refused to give you the search warrant?
Oh no, I've got it. I won't need you for a while now, Watson. I'll see you later.
Where is the statue? Did it vanish?
I heard that Zacharias was killed by the statue's spear. Why won't you...
I need to get the key first. Sir Charles, I have a search warrant. I would like to take a look inside the clubhouse.
I see. Here's the key, but I do protest.
Zacharias Greystoke. It's Sir Charles Yellingham, the director of the club. I wonder who this man is. Guatemala, 1881. I don't think this is a bowls tournament. The photograph appears to have been faked or damaged. I'll take it. Ah, Sir Charles was once a captain in the guard. Charles Yellingham has a large family. A message to Sir Charles from Zacharias Greystoke, the victim. Interesting. It appears that the club is unable to pay its debts to the bank. The 50th birthday of Lord Stevenson. The late Mr. Bromsby's collection. The late Mr. Blinkhorn's collection. The late Mr. Smith's collection. The late Mr. Sutherland's collection. The late Mr. Roberts' collection. This metal globe is very... Some bits are missing. Some bits are missing. These trunks have just arrived. They're from Zacharias Greystoke's antique collection. It appears that it's a part of a gold statue from Guatemala. Solid gold. It's worth a fortune. This piece has been cleanly and intentionally cut. These antiques look quite valuable. Interesting. The men who own these collections are all dead.
A map of London and its surroundings. Could be useful. My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. Zacharias Greystoke. It's Sir Charles Yellingham, the director of the club. I wonder who this man is. It appears that part has been painted over. I need to find out what's underneath. I need a pipette. Let's gently remove the paint with a soft cloth. Aha, there's another person in the photograph.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Look here. There's a person with a swollen eye who was concealed within this photograph. A dispute of some kind, do you think, Watson?
Possibly. But it appears to me a characteristic symptom of a rare tropical disease that is found in South and Central America.
South America! Brilliant, Watson!
Happy to help.
Is it deadly?
Well, there is a chance he survived.
I shall ask Sir Charles, but who knows what he'll say.
I have an idea. There is only one hospital for such illness. The Hospital for Tropical Diseases. I have friends who work there.
Oh, yes?
Well, the chances are slim, but I'll pay them a visit. If he's in London, they would have seen him.
My analysis table. It's useful for my work. I do hope that bone has no connection to Watson's medical practice.
What can I do for you, Mr. Holmes?
Sir Charles, you informed me that you didn't know why Mr. Greystoke was here at such a time.
That's correct. I have no idea.
You have a fine collection at your club, with one disturbing thing in common.
Oh, all the items are from our club members.
But only from deceased members, including Mr. Greystoke.
Oh, yes. But it is a rule of the club that all our members undertake to donate their personal collections to us in the event of their death.
I found this photograph on your wall. You're in it, but do you know who these men are? Particularly the gentleman with the swollen eye.
Oh, him. But that's poor Mr. Albeit. He died from fever during an expedition to Guatemala 14 years ago. We were searching a Mayan Quiche temple, but everything went wrong. We were unable to enter the temple, and the expedition ended in disaster. I'm here, and here is Zacharias. And there is Bernard Marley, another member. He's over there, near the pedestal. By the way, he's the fellow who built that terrible statue. He created it, must have been 10 years ago.
Albeit was a club member. Where is his collection?
Well, the devil if I know. We never did locate it. Mr. Marley is over there, near the statue's pedestal.
Mr. Bernard Marley, I presume. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I have to ask you about an expedition to Guatemala.
Shh, not here. It's too dangerous. I'll give you my card. Visit me there where we can talk.
Excuse me, where is Grub Street?
I don't know.
Possum Street. Possum Street. Cranny Street. Grub Street. Grub Street. Cranny Street. A drawing of Takunu Man. No oxidation. This metal arm has never been outside. It's not part of the bowling club statute. This mechanism is quite modern. All the gears are of good quality. Strange to find it in a foundry. Hello there, my man. Is your boss in?
Ah, he's in his office. It's the door near the female statue in the corner.
Horse of Pedro Alvarado. He was a conquistador, I believe. Something large and heavy was dragged here.
Mr. Holmes, you must forgive my escape at the club. It wasn't a safe place to talk.
And it's safer here?
Yes, better here. Not my office. I have secured my foundry, you know.
Ah, reassuring. Did you know Zacharias Greystoke, the victim?
Yes, he was a brave friend. Such good karma until yesterday.
Do you recognize the unwell man in this photograph?
By Jove, albeit. Yes, that's him. The poor fellow met his end in Guatemala. He was struck down by a terrible disease.
You were friends?
Not really, but he was an active member and a courageous man. Too courageous. You can't fight against the Quiche gods.
And what of the expedition? You were seeking a Mayan temple?
Yes, the temple of Tekun Uman. Another one of Charles's stupid ideas. We found it, but there was some kind of strange force that prevented us from entering. An evil aura. It was Tekun Uman's emanation. We could all feel it. Albeit its disease worsened suddenly, there was nothing we could do. And now, with Zacharias' death, the curse has reawakened.
After 14 years?
Prophecies are timeless. Even in the beyond, there is no escape.
Did Zacharias believe in the prophecy?
It is not a matter of belief, don't you understand? Zacharias was convinced that we could stop the curse by studying the calendar. What insanity! He sent me a message. He wanted us to visit the club and try to convince Charles to remove the calendar from the awards ceremony.
But you didn't go?
I knew Charles would refuse. Anyway, studying the calendar wouldn't help. Tekun Uman is far too powerful.
Your relationship with Charles Yellingham is...
not friendly. Well, it is reciprocal. You know, most of his expeditions are failures because he is too focused on his hypothetical career to be in politics.
He has political ambition.
That would be an understatement. He has ambitions for the House of Lords, and the club is his means of achieving this. It's also the reason for his disastrous management. But he still succeeds in finding money. I wonder how.
What's your opinion on Tekun Uman's statue having disappeared?
I don't know, but I have nothing to do with it. Nothing.
But in fact, you do. You made the statue.
That's true. But it was 10 years ago. You can't blame me for that.
Don't you think so? After all, it is the statue that is responsible for killing.
No! It's Tekun Uman. But who could imagine that a simple statue replica would be chosen by Tekun Uman? Nobody. I have to leave you now. I've got paperwork to do. And we've spoken too much. He could hear us. Tekun Uman. Well, goodbye then.
Apparently, Marley has built multiple statues of Tekun Uman. Fresh scratches.
Sorry, I'm too busy to chat. Sorry, I'm too... Sorry, I'm too busy to chat.